Alright, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Jurassic World Evolution to all canon species park kind of series. I don't know what exactly to call this series, but in this series we are building a map in the shape of Isla Nublar, if you didn't notice last time, or if you're new. We are building for every canon species in all 6 of the movies, not including Rebirth, because Rebirth, we don't have that Rebirth species yet. In the last episode we built for all of the Jurassic Park species: Raptors, T-Rex, Brachiosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Gallimimus, and 2 of the Dominion species just because I had room for them, Oviraptor and Lystrosaurus. In this episode, we will be adding 4 or 5 new species, all from the Lost World, so we'll be doing the Lost World section of the series. We'll be adding stuff like the Amphitheater, the Stegosaurus, Compsognathus, Pachycephalosaurus, Mamenchisaurus, Parasaurolophus, a different Parasaurolophus, and a few others. So, with that out of the way, let's get right into it. We have what we left off with last time, and we got up to about here with the raptors, but now you'll notice if we turn the camera, we have a whole new section. Now, it is not as big as the Jurassic Park section, mainly because there is not as many species in the Lost World as there are in Jurassic Park. And I also have to mention that also as a result of this, a lot of the species that are in the Lost World that are already in Jurassic Park, like the Tiger Raptors and the Buck and the Doe T-Rex, they are not in this new section. We are only building for new species from each movie. So in this episode we have about 4, I believe, 4 new species, or sorry, 4 new enclosures, ranging from the tiniest of the tiny enclosures, Compsognathus, to the largest of the savanna enclosures down here. Yeah, I'll also be using this episode to vent or talk about all the Jurassic World Evolution 3 stuff that is happening, because that's very exciting. But to start off the tour, we will be starting with where we left off with the Oviraptors and the Lystrosaurus. So if we go in here, and we look at our cute little dudes here, amazing, adorable. So if we go down this pathway that I have connected here, then we can go, and I'm going to speed this up. You'll also notice that I added a few labels. This is where we'll be adding like the Dominion stuff. So we'll be probably doing Jurassic Park 3 here, Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom up here, which is going to be a close one because there's a lot of species in those movies, or at least in Fallen Kingdom. And then for Dominion stuff, we will be trying to wedge stuff into here. I do not know how that's going to work. I might end up having to make like a few more islands or whatever off the coast, just to kind of like make room for stuff, but we'll see. But that is the plan for the rest of the species. I don't think that we're going to get through all of them before Evolution 3 releases, because Evolution 3 releases for me in 12 days as the time of recording this, so I don't think I will be able to do all that. But first of all, if you believe in me, hit the subscribe. No, I'm just joking. I don't like when people do that, because that's just irritating to me. But hopefully we'll be able to get as much of this done before Evolution 3 releases. I am fully committed to Evolution 3 once it does release, so there's no way that I'm like delaying Evolution 3 content for this series, because I know I'm going to enjoy myself a lot more building it in Evolution 3, and of course I know that I will not be able to contain myself when it releases, because it is just too tempting. It is amazing. All the features that they have added some amazing stuff. It just looks and it sounds amazing. We've gotten more stuff recently, like what they are going to be doing. Also, that was the compy enclosure. I don't know why I didn't talk about it at all. If you go back in here, why can I not enter here? There we go. We got little cute little compies. Very sandy enclosure, very circular. We just kind of look at it over top. I've used the Malta viewing gallery to fit with like the desert theme. Over we just have a very nice kind of like planter area here, looking lovely as always. Alright, so now we get out of here, and we go, I believe we should go, is there anything even down there? Or is it just, this connects to the plaza, so we're going to get there anyway. So let's go back to the right. Okay, but a lot of the stuff has been going on in Evolution 3, which is very exciting. This is the raptor enclosure, which we already looked into last time, because we can see if there's any in there, why not? But there's a lot of very exciting stuff happening in Evolution 3. The biggest thing being currently is the custom island generator, where you can now, just like Jurassic Park operates Genesis, which was way back in the day. Also, there is no raptors in here. That's very weird. They are alive, I promise. I just don't know where they are. Anyway. But you'll be able to make your own island, which I am very excited for. I honestly love the variety now you have. You can now choose one of the, like as a basic version, you can choose one of the islands from the campaign or anything like that. You can now have square maps if you want to make huge stuff like Planet Zoo, or you can make your own islands. Which I think that is something that is super unique, because obviously that is something that wouldn't really make sense for like Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster, because you don't, I mean I guess Planet Coaster you kind of do like something like that, like an island theme park or whatever. Also, this is the Pachycephalosaurus enclosure. You can see one over there. I've also added a few tents as like a callback to the scene in the movie where it's like where they like crash through the tents and stuff. I actually think that's the Triceratops, but there is a Pachycephalosaurus in that scene in the movie, so I counted. But yeah, look at them, adorable. I can take a closer look there. What was I talking about? Evolution 3. Yes, you have so much variety now. You can do like the square maps, you can do the campaign maps, and then you could also do, now you could just make your own map, and they are completely unique and completely random. And I trust that they are not just like picking through a selection of maps that they already like pre-chosen, because you now have share codes for maps. So it'll randomize everything. You can also just like customizing the mountains and the trees and the grass and all that stuff that it gives you at first. I think you can, I'm pretty sure you can optimize that stuff later on, like the mountains. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to with the training tools and stuff like that, but anyway. But now you can really have full control over what your map looks like at the start, and it's just amazing. I would personally like to see us to be able to like add stuff to the shore. I would really enjoy it in a free update if they added like ocean barriers, where instead of having to use the lagoon, you could enclose lagoon species with adding like the invisible, basically using the invisible fences, or even just like a big concrete wall or an electric underwater fence around like some part of the ocean for the mosasaurus to swim around, or just have a giant barrier that encloses the island and have the mosasaurus swim around that. And that could be a really good thing that would be interesting for like a rebirth update, because the mosasaurus really does swim around the entire island in that movie. That's how they find it when they get close to it. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe they could add that, or obviously, hopefully, we should be able. We should be getting a mosasaurus variant in the movie. I can't really see them doing like a thing where they did it with Dominion, where they do like two, like say split it up into two expansions, because I think there's only really 4 species in Rebirth that would be completely new. You have the D-Rex, the Mutodon, the Titanosaurus, and also this is our little plaza, by the way. Our beautiful little plaza there. Oh, and of course Aquilops would probably be the 4th one. So I would assume those would be the 4 main ones, with of course like variants for like Spino, T-Rex, Mosa, what else, Quetz, stuff like that. I'm very excited to see, hopefully, that they do that. I've also added a lovely little kind of planter here. It looked a lot of little benches and stuff. Looking great. And this is kind of, again, as our backing to the Pachycephalosaurus enclosure. Adorable. Now we move on to the next Lost World enclosure, which is here, which I believe I have 2 viewing galleries for. And this is the Stegosaurus enclosure, which I do not know where they are. They might... oh, there's one. Here, we can just scoot past our views here. Is there any better views? Probably not. There he is. Adorable. We can get a bit of a closer look at him over here. Beautiful. Amazing. Spectacular. You'll know, again, very similar like layout with these enclosures. There's not a lot of customization to do. And again, this is something I am a bit more optimistic with like Evolution 3, because it would be cool to actually like make... I'm wondering how customizable like, the environments are and stuff. Imagine if you could make like log tunnels or like giant like logs and broken trees and stuff. That'd be pretty cool. Because currently, I do really like the layout of the enclosures and stuff, but I'm just thinking for the future, how advanced can you get with just the general look of the enclosures? Like, the main thing I'm really excited for is like now you can actually build shelters, and the thing is that with that you can make huge shelters and then put like nests underneath them, or nests in the buildings, and that could be like their holding dens and stuff. So that'd be pretty cool, in my opinion. So yeah, so there is a viewing gallery here for the Stegos, and if you wander all the way around here, then there is another one which we might be able to get a better view on. I get a better view from. Also, we have Mr. DNA here, of course. I had to put him here. He made me. Yeah, there he is. Awesome. There's another one over there. I just can't see it. Anyway, I've also used the baby statue there. Adorable. I'm just wondering, so like back to the Evolution 3 thing, I'm wondering what the deal is with like shelters and stuff. If it's gonna be worth making shelters, or like I would at least be really interested in making like how you see like giraffe shelters in real life, how you have like those giant like huts, like those towering huts in their enclosures. It would be so cool to have that, with like the sauropods and like in a sauropod enclosure, which I'm very excited for. I'm very excited. I think the main thing that's going to be really useful with modular building. Also, if you're wondering why this is just here and there's nothing else, this is because the amphitheater I did of course put because it's you have to have it for the Lost World, but I did not have any species to actually fit in here. So instead, I am keeping it for the future to build for something else, and I will also be adding species to the sides of it because we were running out of room. But anyway, let's get back to yapping about Evolution 3 and wandering around here. What was I talking about? I think the main things that are going to be very useful for modular building in Evolution 3 is definitely viewing platforms, because the viewing platforms right now are very limited. Also, this is a cool little tower I put of overlooking the ocean. I like to put these in like the near the ocean because you get to see the animals like in the wild, like in the wild in the ocean. Very nice. You can see both their little stegos there. Possibly see the third one somewhere. I don't know. Maybe he is in the ocean. Who knows? Anyway. But I definitely think that modular building is going to be very useful for viewing galleries. Other than that, doing of course like malls and like attractions is going to be very useful, like making hotels. That's going to be very nice. Restaurants, stuff like that. Unfortunately, that's not the biggest things that I usually do in parks, so it might not be the most applicable. But I definitely think that it has a lot of potential. Now this is the big Savannah ride, and of course I've made it big and grand by putting the When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth banner, as one does. So this is, I have actually implemented the Jurassic Park ride, which we can now go on. I don't know, oh, I have to drive it myself, oh god. Alright, well, we'll be following the track at first, and we'll see maybe if we can take a detour. Can I switch cameras? I can. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, I like the other one better. There we go. We gotta be in first person mode. Oh, can I crash into the cars? Oh, it makes me slow down. Ah, it's no fun. That's stupid. But in this enclosure, we have a lot of species. I really just jam-packed it with a bunch of things because the enclosure was so big. So I believe there is obviously Mamenchosaurus in here, as well as Pachycephalosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Corythosaurus. Oh, there's there's Parasaurolophus. Corythosaurus, which I didn't know actually came up in the Lost World. I thought it was only in Jurassic Park 3. I'm surprised. And of course, I also added Gallimimus, because they are also in that little, the chase sequence in the Lost World. The part where they all break free. That part. So yeah. Look at all these munchkins. Adorable.
Why are we still here?
I don't know where the Mamenchosaurus is. It should be here, but I really don't see it. Is that it? No, that's just a rock. Alright, well, we'll see it. I really want to go off path here. I'm just gonna like cut in front of these guys because they're being really slow. Whoa. There's adorable. Look at that. Amazing. Oh, there's the Mamenchosaurus. I'm hoping that it is not dead. I'm assuming it's just sleeping. Hey, it is. That's nice. That's nice to see. How do we drive this again? Wait, where'd my Jeep go? I did not damage it that bad. That is baloney. Anyway, so we have our crew. Maybe we should find one that's actually awake. Oh, never mind. You neither. Oh my god, are you all sleeping? There we go, I found one that's up. I love this. I love how what they're doing, actually. There's a lot of controversy with the sexual dimorphism in Evolution 3, and I think that is one of the things that I think they did need to make a new game for, if they wanted to add it. I don't think it's the biggest feature or anything, like, it's not game-changing, but I do like it, and I think it does work for some of the species. With some of them, they look kind of weird, but with some of them, it does work. Like, if you look at the Edmontosaurus, or, like, some of the Hadrosaurs, it looks really cool. Like, they've made some of the head crests really big, and others really small. So it's just nice to see that little like variety. I'm wondering if they're gonna add like albinos in every update, because that would be cool. That would be like the next step to making like more like mutations, kind of. You can watch this Mamenchosaurus eat for a few seconds there. There are a few other species in here. I don't know where our Gallimimus tribe is. Here they are. Interesting skin. I didn't know I put this on there. I thought it was more like a beigey skin, but apparently it's not. It's a very sandy one. Interesting. So we have that. We have a para, which of course has the 1997 skin. Awesome. If you remember, we also have the Jurassic Park skin. Actually, maybe we don't. I don't think there was a Jurassic... Oh, no, there is. Never mind. This is 2001. So this is... Oh, this is actually the Jurassic Park 3 skin. Interesting. So there is no Jurassic Park skin for the para. I guess because it's not considered a main creature in the movie, but whatever. So yeah, that is the overall kind of area for that. And with that, honestly, that is pretty much it for all we have to do. Like with this new section, there is not too much to it. I've also tried to add little Easter eggs and stuff on the little islands. We have like the washrooms there. I've added. I don't know if I added anything on this one. I just have more rocks and stuff. Anything over here? I might have. Oh yeah, we have picnic benches as a reference to. I remember this. It's a reference to the Compsognathus scene at the beginning of the film where the girl gets attacked. I think she does live from that. I don't think they had I don't think even back then they had the guts to kill off a child. Nonetheless, like a 5-year-old in that movie. But I wanted to put that just a little like kind of Easter egg to that scene in the movie. I don't think there's anything else on there. I remember I put something on one of the islands. It was on this one. No. I put the research thing on one of them. But maybe I didn't. I don't know. Where did I put that? Did I put it in the main raptor enclosure? Maybe I did, actually. Yeah, I did. Okay, I put that here. I was originally going to put this on one of the islands, but it took out way too much space. And I didn't mind to delete this, because this is really cool. Because it's only fitting that it goes in the raptor pen, of course, because that's where it got its kills from. Yes, beautiful. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it for what we have so far in this park for episode 2. Of course, episode 1, Jurassic Park, episode 2, Lost World, episode 3, the next episode will be Jurassic Park 3, and after that, we will probably take a small break from the series. I don't know if it's really been like that well recepted. The last video didn't do like crazy numbers or anything like that, so I don't know if you guys are, this is really like a nail-biting series or anything, especially with the new game already coming out in a few days nonetheless. There is another episode or another one-off video that I've done for Evolution 2 that I'm going to be posting probably next week as well. It is a modded enclosure. This whole series is not a modded series, so the one enclosure that I did, the one-off episode that I'm going to be making, is a modded enclosure. It's like the last modded enclosure that I've done for this game, so that is going to be pretty interesting. So in the meantime, I think that will have to do. That will have to be it for this episode. So if you did enjoy this episode, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one for probably another Evolution 2 episode. I am working on stuff, Planet Zoo and Prehistoric Kingdom, all 3 of them together. It's just going to take me a bit of time to actually put stuff together and make it work, and like all that good stuff, kind of editing and finishing stuff all at once. And I also am a bit more busy in these months than I usually am, so forgive me when it comes to that. But other than that, I believe that is going to be it for me. So if you all have enjoyed, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and see you guys in the next one. And have a great rest of your day.